Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Booked and Busy. In today's episode, we are going to be doing our January TBR. So this is going to be the list of the books that I want to read for January. So my reading goal for 2025 is going to be 52 books, as I stated in my previous video. I do want to hit at least one book a week. Some periods of time I do read faster than others, so I'll finish a book in a day, depending on how long it is. So I think 52 books is pretty attainable for me. So for January, I feel like my reading goal is going to be 6 or 7 books. We're going to see how well I do on that. There are a bunch of books that I do want to start reading this year. I was able to stuff my Kindle. It was a romance book website, so I just had a bunch of romance books. So yeah, I was able to stuff my Kindle. I got like just under 200 books, which is crazy. Mostly romance. I was able to find BookBub, which has been really amazing. I get an email every morning and I go through and I find the ones that are free because I obviously am a broke college student. So I go on BookBub and I read the email newsletter and I download the free ones that I'm interested in and more books. So I was able to find some thrillers, some fantasy, contemporary romance, and some horror books. So yeah, there's a bunch of books that I was able to find that I want to read. So with all that being said, let's get into the books that I want to read this January. Considering my goal is 6 or 7, I was able to find 8 books that I want to read for January. So the first book on my TBR for January is called The Score. It is an off-campus series book by Elle. I read her first 2, which was The Deal and The Mistake, and I really enjoyed those, but I read them back to back, so I had enough of hockey romance for a while, and then I had to take a break and read a thriller. But I am kind of in the mood to get back into more romance books. The description pretty much says, Allie Hayes is in crisis mode. With graduation looming, she still doesn't have the first clue about what she's going to do after college. To make matters worse, she's nursing a broken heart thanks to the end of her long-time relationship. Wild, rebound sex is definitely not the solution to her problems, but gorgeous hockey star Dean DeLaurentis is impossible to resist. Just once, though, because even if her future is uncertain, it sure as heck won't include the king of one-night stands. Dean always gets what he wants. Girls, grades, girls, recognition, girls. He's a ladies' man, alright, and he's yet to meet a woman who's immune to his charm. Until Allie. For one night, the feisty blonde rocked his entire world, and now she wants to be friends? Nope, it's not over until he says it's over. Dean is in full-on pursuit, but when life-rocking changes strike, he starts to wonder if maybe it's time to stop focusing on scoring and shoot for love. So, me knowing the previous 2 books, and Elle Kennedy's writing, I think I'm going to really enjoy this one, especially with these characters being prefaced in the previous book. Like, we've seen them in the background of the first one and the second one. I love the characters already, and her writing style is just amazing, and the plots that she writes is just awesome, so I think I'm going to enjoy this one. So hopefully we get to read this one this month. So the next book on the list is called The Devil's Bargain by Carin Hart. It's the first book in a 5-book series, and the description pretty much says, they say the devil doesn't bargain. I'm here to tell you that he does. But sometimes the price is still way too high. Ava, I'm in trouble. Deep trouble. I never meant for it to happen, but my ex is dead, and I'm the one who pulled the trigger. Whether he deserved it or not, whether anyone will ever miss that jerk, it doesn't matter. Joey is dead, and I have to figure out what to do before I get caught with a corpse in my hand. Enter Lincoln Cruz. After the way we ended, I swore I would never turn to him again. But we were kids then, and in the 15 years since I've seen him, he's gone from a scrappy fighter to one of the most powerful men in Springfield's seedy underbelly. If there's anyone who can help me right now, it's Link. With his power, his money, and his connections, I could put all of this behind me. And all he wants in exchange is my soul. And my hand. Link. Ava. She's the one who got away. The reason I built my entire empire, and the only person I burned the whole entire world down for. I've done things I'm not proud of. They say the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and that's my life story right there. I wanted to show her that I could be the man she wants, the man she deserves, and by doing so, I became the worst for her. I became the devil. So I kept my distance, though I always kept my eye on her. If I can't have her, I could at least keep her safe, right? Wrong. She nearly got hurt, and it's all my fault. When she comes to me, she has no idea that I'm responsible. I'm not about to tell her either. This is my second chance, my do-over. Ava is mine, and no matter what I have to do to keep her, I will. Even if I have to force her to marry me in exchange for my protection. But who will protect her from me? This is gonna be good. I'm actually really excited for this one. I think I got this one off of BookBub. Either that or one of the Kindle websites, one of the websites that I found for Stuff Your Kindle Day. But I'm excited for this one. It sounds so good. Like, I skimmed the description when I was looking at the listing and I was like, whatever, it's gonna be good. And considering it is a 5-book series, I feel like I might actually get invested into this one. So we'll see how this first book goes, but I have high hopes for this one. Alright, so the next book that we have on the list is called Tattered Lies. It's an arranged marriage romance. It's written by Louise Rose. So the description says, I'm promised to the head of the Marico family, but I want his brother. Okay. My duty in life is to marry. For my family, for the safety only a marriage could bring. But weeks before my wedding, I met a stranger in a club. I do something reckless for once in my life, and I kiss the most gorgeous man in the room. I can't forget his face, his lips. Everything about him is pressed into my memory. While I'm standing at the altar in my sparkling white gown, my groom introduces me to his brother, the same man I kissed only weeks ago, and his smirk tells me he always knew who I was. I try to forget him. It doesn't work because he wants me to remember. I try to love my new husband. That fails too, because he is cruel and his brother protects me. Okay. Wanting my brother-in-law is forbidden, and we could tear our families apart. But I can't stop. So it looks like this one's gonna be spicy. Definitely very, very spicy. This one is a mafia romance. So there's that. I think I'm actually going to be really excited for this one. I have some high hopes. I think this one is a single book. I don't think it's a series. Oh, no, it is a series. So there's 3 books in the Tattered Obsession series. So this is book number 1. So there might be more. We might get the brother's point of view. We might get her sister or something in the future, but we'll see. We'll see how I enjoy this first one. I am a big fan of the mafia romances. I don't know why, but they can be pretty good sometimes. So this one's up there. I think this one's going to be fun. Alright, the next book on this list is kind of a cutesy one. It is called My Best Friend's To-Do List. It is a friends to lovers romantic comedy by Lynn. This one's a short one. It's only 290 pages. So this one will be a quick little romance read. And the description pretty much says, it was supposed to be a joke, just a list between friends. It became so much more. Hi, I'm the girl who spent the last few years building a business rather than dating, and apparently it shows. Falling in love was never a priority, but I agreed to a blind date anyway. What can it hurt, right? A lot, according to my 2 business partners. I can't be boring, they say, in ways I won't repeat. I have to learn to live a little on the edge. This is where the list comes in. 10 things I need to learn before truly jumping into the dating game. I plan to throw it away the day after we drunkenly write tasks that make my face flush with embarrassment. It's the end of that. Until it isn't. And so my best friend, also known as the hot nerd I thought I knew everything about, finds it before it hits the trash. Turns out, I didn't know everything, because he wants to help me complete it. He wants to be the experience I need for the next guy. The only question is, what if I can't let go of him once each has a big red X? Ooh, this one is going to be cutesy. I definitely know this one is going to be more lighthearted than most of the other books in this list. I think I'm going to really enjoy this one as well. That's why it's on the TBR, of course. But yeah, I think I needed some lightheartedness out of the list of books that I picked for this month. I am trying to get into horror and thriller genres, so I'm exploring a little bit more. I also really love dystopian books, so there is going to be one on this list. exciting. But yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I think it'll be a good little lighthearted mood disruptor, especially if the ones that I'm reading get a little too dark. I might stop and read this one instead. But yeah, I'm really excited for this one. So the next book is called Numbers Game. It is a young adult dystopian romance by Rebecca Road. Again, I just said I really want to read more dystopian. I saw this one and I was like, wait, this sounds really good. Plus the description says if you're like a fan of like Hunger Games or Maze Runner, you're going to enjoy this one. So I will 100% pick up a book that's similar to those because I love those. So the description pretty much says, she wants to win the game, he wants to break it. That's going to be good. In Nora, every day is a competition. On rating day, Trina and the rest of her class will receive the number that brands her for life. Shouldn't be a problem since she's a top contender with nearly perfect scores. But when her number is announced, it shocks everyone. Then she discovers that somebody wants her dead, and they're being far from subtle about it. When Trina joins a secret military contingent to raise her score quickly, she soon discovers that Nora isn't what she thought, and neither is Vance, her mysterious trainer with a haunted past and a plan of his own. Can two enemies help one another in a desperate search for the truth? And if they manage to survive the deadly games of numbers, whose version of the future will win in the end? Yeah, I'm actually really excited for this one. This one does sound... I just read a little bit further. Somebody on Amazon reviewed it, and they said it's very similar to Divergent series. So I think this one is going to be possibly a 4 or 5 star for me. The reviews look really good on this one, so I'm excited. Alright, the next book is called My Turn. It is a dark stalker romance by Madilyn DeRose. The description pretty much says, the thing about obsession is that it can come out of nowhere. One day you're a 14-year-old freshman focused on football. Then your brother brings a girl home. Not just any girl. Alana Monroe. That was all it took to steal my fate. And hers. It's been 12 years and none of that fatal attraction has left me. It's grown, spread throughout my body like a cancer. But I can't have her yet. Even though Jake is gone, when she looks at my face, she can't help but see him. Being identical was a curse I'd been born with, and there was no escaping it. I couldn't let her go, though. I'd never let her go. It was bound to come to this. Fighting it was pointless, so I was going to play with her a little. Maybe I'd let myself break her. It was time to introduce her to someone else. The monster had been tracking her every move for so long. I'd ripped my brother's memory from her just so that she could be set free. When she realized who her savior was underneath the mask, she'd no longer see him. She'd see me. It's my turn. Ooh, okay. This is giving a little bit of a haunting Adeline in a good way. Like, in a good way. Definitely not like the second book of that series, because that one was really dark. But this one, I think this one's gonna be good. I think this one actually might be up there on my 4 stars list. Maybe just possibly because it is a dark romance. But yeah, I'm excited to start this one. Hopefully it does not disappoint me because I kind of have high expectations for this, especially with the other dark romance books I've read. Plus this one, the description hypes it up a lot. So we're going to see how that one is if I get to it. The next one's called Paper Cranes, a novel by Jordan Ford. The description says, an award-winning modern-day retelling of the fairy tale Rapunzel. And that's kind of what caught my eye, because it's, come on, it's freaking Rapunzel. We all love Tangled. We all love the floating lantern scene. So that caught my eye. But the description goes, caught between feuding parents in a bitter divorce, Tristan is depressed and disenchanted, shutting out the world at every turn. Until one day, when trying to retrieve a lost baseball, he climbs through an attic window and meets a girl. With long golden hair and a sunshine smile, Helena's like no other he's ever met. She's quirky, weird, and lives in an imaginary world, her only way of coping with the bizarre life her mentally ill mother forces her to lead. Trapped in her tower, she somehow still finds a way to experience the joy Tristan is far from feeling. Drawn to her effervescent nature, Tristan keeps climbing through her attic window and falling in love with his Rapunzel. But can true love last when Helena's mother is determined to keep them apart? Can Tristan find the strength to fight for the girl who has awakened his soul? Or will the paranoid woman who keeps her daughter under lock and key stop their dreams from coming true? Okay, so we have all seen Tangled. We have all seen it. And my impression of this is pretty much like when I'm reading this description, I'm like imagining Mother Gothel like locking her up. And you see like Flynn Rider coming up the tower every single day to come see her. That is what I imagine with this book, and I'm really hoping that it kind of like is like that. I don't know if that makes any sense, but this one's kind of cutesy. I think I'm gonna enjoy this one a lot. It's only 300 pages. I think I can do that. I think that this one will definitely get read this month, but if not, probably next month. Alright, and finally the last book on my TBR for this month. It is called One Night with Him. It's by C.D. Reiss. It says there's 4 books in this series, so if I like this one, I have another series to start. The description says, Jonathan Drazen's my billionaire boss. Or he was, until he fired me. Now he wants to make a bet. If I win, he'll give me enough money to not care about this waitressing job. If he wins, I'm completely and utterly his for the night. Since a bad breakup, I've sworn off men. But I'll take this wager. He's hot enough to break some rules over. Besides, he's still hung up on his ex-wife. There's no chance he'll want more after the sun comes up. Just one night, and I walk away from his dark past and his hot demands. I shouldn't walk away in the morning, though. I should run right now. Turns out, when Jonathan Drazen wants something, he gets it. And after our one night, he wants me. This one's gonna be good. You know, when they're like a billionaire boss that they got some other stuff hiding behind the curtains, if you know what I mean. I'm really excited for this one. It is also really short. It's only 368 pages. A lot of quick reads this month. But yeah, this one looks really good. I've never read anything from this author, but the reviews are... There's like 4,800 reviews on this book, and it's 4.5 stars, so it must be good. It must be good. So we're gonna see if I can finish this book this month, hopefully. If not, it is a romance. I could read it during February, during my romance series. Alright, with that being said, that is my whole January TBR. Again, I have 8 books that I want to read this month, but my goal for this month is 6 or 7. So if I can finish 6 or 7 books, I'll be happy with that by the end of the month. If you guys want to follow along with this series, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button so I know that you guys are enjoying the series. With that being said, thank you guys for watching today's TBR video, and I will see you guys in the next one.